you know, it's the party pooper.
Hi. I think now would be a good time for me to leave.
Don't go on my account. I will just get a glass of water.
No, it's a school night. I'll make tricks. Good night.
Night.
Well, certainly didn't see that one coming.
Well, you know, I swing both ways. Can't have been that much of a shock. Or was it because he's brown?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. If I'd pictured you doing that with anyone, it would have been Hunter. No, I'm just saying.
Picturing me doing that with a woman, however, would be far too hideous to imagine.
You need to understand that this whole thing is a learning curve for me.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I feel bad enough as it is.
I'm up, I may as well.
Sit, I'll make us some breakfast.
No, you sit. I'll do it.
I didn't really do what I think I did last night, did I?
What you mean with Maxwell? Yes. It was all very real.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Was I horrible to you?
Don't worry about it. And you certainly weren't horrible to Maxwell.
Throwing myself at him.
Well, he'd caught you very nicely by the time I arrived. Scrambled eggs, I think. Why don't you pop next door and invite Maxwell over?
No way.
But he's gorgeous. And he's a doctor.
Also a man.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
I'm not interested in getting into a relationship with anyone right now, male or female. Last night I was just feeling a bit lonely. I shouldn't have pounced on Maxwell. It was wrong.
Well, like I said, he didn't seem to be objecting.
He's just too nice a guy to cast me off. Anyway, it shouldn't have happened, so don't go blabbing to anyone. I feel mortified enough as it is. Subject closed. End of. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, darling. At risk of sounding like an interfering mother, I'm sure she'd be more than open to it if you wanted to ask her out.
What are you thinking? I am so sorry about this. Would you please ignore her?
No worries.
How could you embarrass me like that? How could you embarrass Maxwell?
He's a very nice man, Nicole. And he's unattached. I was simply giving you a helping hand.
I don't want your help, nor do I need it.
Keep your voice down. People can hear.
You don't get to choose who I get involved with. I thought you understood that.
Getting involved with someone is exactly what you need. It'd help you forget the way that dreadful woman hurt you, for starters. You said yourself you were lonely. Ah, excuse me for caring.
Are you all right, Mum? They only just told me.
Rotator cuff strain, but she should be okay. Build them tough in a day.
Maxwell's been taking very good care of me, by which I mean nothing more than I'm grateful.
Okay, how about I let Cara here organise a sling for you?
Okay, embarrassed really doesn't begin to describe it. I'm so sorry about before and about last night. I have too much to drink. I jump on people.
I feel so used. Forget about it. Look, you're going through a rough spell. These things happen.
And please ignore anything my mother says. She's completely desperate to see me shacked up with someone new, of the male variety specifically.
So I fit the bill, do I? Always been appearing pleasing me.
So you know there's no need to feel terrified of me in any way. Please don't feel terrified of me. Are we still friends?
If you can keep those hands in check. Hate is a great healer, you know.
Sorry?
Hate. Harness hate to heal that broken heart. It's the title of my new self-help book.
I don't hate Maya.
Gee, well, that's where you're going wrong. You need to hate her. Otherwise, you'll have regrets and a low self-esteem.
You know, I can't see this flying as a self-help book.
Well, I'm with your mother on this one. See, you did nothing wrong, okay? Learn to hate a little. It'll help you get over it.
Thanks, Maxwell.
You're welcome.
Oh, that woman needs a muzzle. Who? Rachel. She's a little Rottweiler. If it hadn't been for Maxwell, she would have been...
Maxwell?
Oh, that got your attention.
I can't believe you pulled him into it.
Oh, he got himself involved. He's a good man.
Too good.
Yeah, well, you do a lot worse.
Mum,
Maxwell Avia. Am I saying it right?
Pretty close.
I should make an effort to study up on things Samoan, just in case.
Just in case, nothing.
Well, I've seen the sparks, which means you must have felt them.
We're friends, that's all.
Oh, so you kiss all your friends like that, do you?
Shush.
Well, you can't do better than a doctor. Secure income, handy in emergency situations.
Oh, I'm not listening.
She was the longest-running female cast member of Shortland Street, but now it's all over. Actor Anna Julienne's here to tell us about life after Maia Jeffries. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, my goodness, your storylines was something else. How are you fitting back into normal life?
Well, it's been a nice break, actually. I've had just a lovely long summer, and the weather's been great, and I did a road trip around the South Island, so, yeah, it's been good. I've left crazy old Maia behind.
When you signed up for Maia, did you know what her storyline was going to be like?
No. I mean, I knew she was a young lesbian woman and a nurse, and apart from that, I didn't really know anything else. I don't even know if the writers knew.
So once they got to know you and your character, they decided to do this incredible... What was the craziest storyline of all? I mean, there's some pretty big ones, but what would you say was the craziest one you did?
I did impregnate myself with my sister's husband's sperm with a turkey baster on the couch once. And then I also killed a guy and went crazy, so I've had a few of them, actually.
Killing a guy going crazy.
I know.
So how did they get your character to leave? Because I know it's going to be... It was something to do with mimicking what you're about to do, so what happened?
Yeah. Well, my love life sort of took a terrible dive for the worst. I was unfaithful to my girlfriend on the show, and basically just the repercussions of that, and working in the same hospital didn't go very well, and Maia's mother, Yvonne, was going over to Sydney, and so I exited with my mama.
And, funny, you should mention that because that's exactly what you're about to do, but it's a big, big step for you because you're leaving your husband behind.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well,
Your new husband.
My new husband, yeah. I just sort of thought, see, I really want to get an agent in Australia and be able to audition there and see what work might come in Australia. But I think that I'll try and be based there for at least a few months this year. I hope to leave in March, get myself a bit sorted over there, and then with the hope of being able to flit a bit. You know, Sydney's not that far away, so...
Well, because you've actually had a long-distance relationship with your partner before you were married. He was in the UK for a year.
Yeah, and I had to be back at Shorty Street, so that was really hard because it's so far away.
How did you manage it? Skype?
Yeah, a bit of Skype, lots of phone talking. One trip to Thailand, that was pretty nice. It was really hard, though. We just got engaged as well, and so it was sort of the first year of our engagement.
But you've been together a long time, I mean, you're very young, but much longer than people might realise, because you've only been married a year, but you've been together...
6 years we've been together.
How did you guys meet?
We've actually known each other since high school, but not well. We didn't really get to know each other until we were early 20s.
And he is working in New Zealand. There he is. Oh, what a... You look lovely. Isn't it funny to look back on that? So James is involved in property, is that correct?
He's in commercial property, yeah.
So there's no way he could transport that over to Australia?
I mean, he could, but if we want to ultimately live here, it's something that takes him a while to establish a client base and relationships with people, you know. So he's sort of rooted here at the moment, but I don't think it'll be too bad flitting between the two.
So why did you decide that now was the right time to leave Shortland Street?
I've been on for almost 7 years, and I loved it. It was just such a great place to work, and I learnt so much and grew so much as an actor and just as a person. I think I was quite young when I started. But I felt that it was time for me to try something different here and move on. And it was sad to say goodbye. So many great friends, and on a day-to-day basis, it's such a great place to work, such a good community. But it was my time, I felt, to try something new. Yeah.
We've got some footage of your very first episode.
I can't believe that.
I don't know how long since you've seen that. Can we take a look just to see how far you've come?
I'd love to see.
Here we go.
Dad, this is my mate Maia, my father, Victor Kahu.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Trained it well.
Oh, I'm a Kiwi too. I've only been in Sydney a couple of years.
That'd be enough for anyone, wouldn't it?
Dad, I hope I'm not putting you out, Dr. Kahu.
Victor. No, not at all. We've got tons of room. Come on upstairs. I'll put you next to the bathroom, Jess. Give Maia the quiet room. It's mad around here some mornings.
Right. Sounds good to us.
Looked like me to To me, you were flirting with him.
Do you reckon?
Don't you guys think that at home? It looked like you went, okay, maybe
that was a bit naughty.
So what's it like looking back at that?
Crazy, I haven't seen that for years.
But you really haven't changed, have you? I mean, when you look at it...
talking devil. Maybe I have a little bit.
But really, I mean, you were gorgeous then, you're still gorgeous now, so it's interesting because sometimes you look at the, Shortland Street characters and they change so dramatically.
It tends to be a show that dates quite rapidly, I think, just, I guess because they so try and keep it right now and how we are, and so, yeah, it doesn't take long.
So head over to Australia and hopefully you'll get some huge show, which will be so brilliant. But you are planning a family, I understand?
Yeah, definitely.
In the not-too-distant future?
Yeah, not too distant. And that was probably another incentive to leave when I did. I'd sort of like to just get maybe a few other acting roles under my belt before I pop out babies. Aww. Yeah, and I would like to at least be pregnant by 30, so I've got a couple of years to try and get some stuff done.
And is James in agreement with this? Is he keen to?
Yeah, you better believe he is. I'm the boss.
How hard is it for New Zealand actors? I know you've had this stint on Shortland Street and quite established here, but how hard is it to break into the Australian market? Have you heard anything? I know people like Robin Malcolm have been going over there.
Yeah, Danielle Cormack.
Yes. How have they done? Like, have you been watching
From what I hear,
progress?
it's definitely doable, and I think that they're, successful over there.
Although they're a lot older than you too, which is something to take
they
into
have more
account.
of a profile, obviously, over there, and they're more established, a lot more experience under their belt. But I think it's pretty doable. I sort of think it's more doable than the LA option, which, lots of my friends are trying to do, which is so brave and very admirable, but scary and hard, I think.
What about the whole accent thing? Because, when you go to LA, you've got the American accent to master. We make fun of the Australian accent and so forth, but it's probably, we can mimic it, but it's pretty hard to do genuinely, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can all pretend to be Julia Gillard, but it's not going to be
I think
the same.
that's the risk, that we sort of do the caricature that is the Australian twang.
Yes.
Yeah, and
like that.
just to sort of ease that back. But even if you're based in New Zealand, you'll be up for roles that you'll have to do an Australian accent for or an American accent for, so it's worth your while to do a bit of accent work.
Before you go?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it easy to get an agent when you get over there? Have you already got some lined up? How does it work?
Yeah, I've got meetings with agents lined up. It's just about getting in front of them and them liking you and you liking them.
And then, of course, you show them your reel. And
yeah, you do show them your show reel and you see how it goes, yeah.
Well, you are very brave, and I think it's very exciting for the industry over there, because I'm sure you'll do really well.
Oh, thank
because you're
you.
gorgeous and talented.